Okay, we're going to do part 2 now of our lesson 4.5, writing trigonometric functions, where we're going to this time fix the acute angles in a triangle. But we're going to let the length of one side vary and see how that affects the lengths of the other side. So if we look at this triangle, let's say we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle where we have x and y labeled as the legs. If we maintain the relationship of the angles, then what you'll see is as x gets larger, y gets larger. And so we can write a function for this triangle of y in terms of x. And we start by writing a ratio where we have the tangent of 30 equals x over y. And then we're going to solve that function for y. And so we'll multiply both sides by y to get y tangent 30. Oops. Equals x, and then divide both sides by tangent 30 to get the function y equals x over tangent 30. So if we plug in a length for x, it will return us a length for y. And what you can see is if we let x get small, the smaller we let x get, the smaller y gets. We can let x get almost to 0 and still maintain this 30, 60, 90 triangle. Or we can make x as large as we want and still maintain this 30, 60, 90 triangle. So our domain for the function x can't be 0, but it can be anything bigger than 0, and it can go to infinity. And the range of the function y, as x gets closer and closer to 0, y gets closer and closer to 0. So the range of the function here is also 0, and as x goes to infinity, y goes to infinity. So if we wanted to move these around, and let's say that we wanted the hypotenuse to be x, then we could write a function of y in terms of x, and we could start with saying, oops, that's the 30 degrees. The 30 degrees goes right here. And so we would say here we have the adjacent side and we have the hypotenuse. So we would say the cosine of 30 degrees is equal to y over x, the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. We're going to solve that for y again. So this time, to get the y by itself, all we have to do is multiply both sides by x. So x times cosine 30 is equal to y, where y is the function of x. We plug in x, we get y. And those are the kind of ratios that we can do when we're given fixed angles inside of a right triangle. And we can write a trig equation, sine, cosine, tangent, given the relationship between the sides that we have. And then we solve that equation for y. And that's going to give us the length of one side in terms of the lengths of the other side when we have fixed angles inside the right triangle.